Alrighty. Hello, everybody. I know, it's the PNG form. What are you doing? I thought you were premiering the L2d form today. Oh, don't you worry. We'll get to that. But I want to spend a little more time with this form. Just a little longer. Since, well, I have a lot of history with this form, you see. After all, it was the start of my streaming career, and it has been my streaming career for the longest time. So, a little time under the fire, under the stars, with some nice Spriggan music. I wish I had more of a budget to get an animated campfire, and maybe they'll be on the itinerary. I like hanging out in a place like this. Sure, I could have a room and all, but there's just something here. Something about the stars. That ever-glistening fire, the crackle. This is all just a bunch of philosophical drivel, you might be thinking. But sometimes I segue into that. Anyways, I'll give a proper introduction soon, but let's warm up a bit. It's been a hell of a day, and it's been a hell of... I don't know how many years I've been at this point. I've lost count. So many games beaten, so many hard modes, crazy nonsense deflect fights, and other things. But, you know what? That's quite alright. But in any case, I've always wanted to redo my first debut. That was pretty dog shit. I was muted for like at least 20 minutes or so, just spouting utter nonsense that didn't really make sense and kind of contradicts who I am today. Although maybe that's just a VTubing tradition at this point. You do a debut, you think you're gonna be a certain thing, and then you completely botch it and become the other thing. But today's the day. Well, okay. I tell half lies quite often. It's 80% the truth. I will be transitioning out of my PNG models from here on out, but they'll return for high-intensity things like Neo 3. Because, yeah, Neo 3 and VTube Studios do not get along very well. Much to my, dismay. It's a darn shame, though. It truly is. Because, I would have really liked to run Neo 3 with, my VTubing model, but this old comp it just can't handle the beating. Which is a little depressing to say, but alas, what can I really do? Let's see. I'm gonna need to do something for a quick second though, so I guess I'll yap a little bit more, warm it up. We'll start the actual slideshow in about 5 minutes. This is probably going to be the worst debut ever, but at least it'll be better than my first one, because holy shit, that one sucked. That one sucks so much, I'm surprised I didn't bury it somewhere in some corner while just not thinking about it anymore. Because honestly, I don't even know why I was thinking about debut streams. It's usually not really my thing. I'll admit. Like, I'll be honest, I was just planning to just start off and get going with this whole model. But as it turns out, yeah, kinda don't want to do that. Okay. There's gotta be a way to... Oh, actually, give me a hot minute. I do need to, like, try something with this model. before we go on, because this is going to be kind of important. Well, okay, I say kind of important, but it is going to be important. What am I kidding myself? Let's see. Could have sworn you could resize the model. Oh, here we go. That's more like it. Okay, never mind, I figured it out. One last test piloting before I unveil the model in its entirety. Well, for now anyways. Silly me. But yeah, it's been a strange one. I guess I was always, like, just kinda hesitant on whipping out the L2d model, but now that I've done it a few times, it's been pretty fun, honestly. So, it's gonna be here to stay. This is gonna be my kind of a redo. Oh, but don't think it's only an introduction. Oh no, I got some future plans to discuss. But, well, I think it's finally time though. I'm not a person that's very great at holding people for like 20 minutes talking about my day or something, because... Good evening, historians! We're gonna have a proper introduction today. Even though you... Actually, no. My regulars probably know who the heck I am at this point. But this is more for, like, new people who stroll into this channel through my various questionable antics that... It's like... This shit would probably fry most VTubers if they tried it. Like, just imagine the shish kebab that is trying to high-tier net battle, trying to play Ace Combat on Ace difficulty, playing Trails on Nightmare, where it's total dog shit if you don't know what you're doing, playing Neo. It's like I am a style switcher, and I guess in a sense, this is going to be a style shift. I'll still keep the PNG around, though. Like, this is where it all started. This was also the first thing... Well, I know it's a business transaction. That much I could say. And I guess simping for artists would be kinda lame, wouldn't it? It sort of feels like that, but at the same time, this is what Kuupi and I cooked up. And... Oh, hey Sprocket! Welcome, welcome. We're gonna have a proper introduction today to my L2d model. I am actually a VTuber, kind of, even though I've advertised for the last couple of years that I'm a VTuber, even though I'm a GIF-tuber, which isn't a VTuber, but you know what, semantics. Happy re-debut. Oh, and running the gauntlet of... Yeah, no, running the gauntlet of Silent Hill F several times. Actually, no. This kind of shit would shish kebab most VTubers. Like, this whole channel can be described as Gulliver's Travels. Gone very violent, and in very strange directions. Man. Well, I should probably shout out Xeno and Kuupi later on this one. I'm sure they'd like to know. Even though the L2d models, I don't like using the term mom and pop for Rigger and artist. It feels so weird, especially with Nabs, because Nabs is a small fairy and I look like the dad. Which is a bizarro course. Also, Nab's kids should not know I exist. Neither should Kuupi's kids, but definitely not Nab's kids. They should not know I exist. this is strictly kind of off the record. Alright, but anyways, let us commence, actually. Now that you're all here, now that I have some of your attention, let us proceed to debut time. Oh boy. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna be honest, the rest of this stream is just gonna be me yapping about plans and things I want to do later, but I don't like false advertisements, so it is time for me to disappear for a second, as I regale a bunch of stuff. I told you this was gonna be a very scuffed debut. I kinda meant it. But for those who are wondering just who the fuck I am Tenkaku. I meant to retire from mercenary work and try to live the peaceful life. I failed spectacularly, as anyone who's gotten stuck in Silent Hill, then getting stuck in a mech, getting stuck in a plane, fighting across the Tokugawa era. It's been endless battles, what can I say? But anyways, about me. Other than the whole endless battler part, I am 5.7 in height. The age is... I'm gonna just let you guys guess that one. I'm sure I've dropped enough hints on this channel at this point. Being a person from the arcade era should be a big hint. But don't guess that one. Maybe someday, before the dreaded end times, I'll reveal the age. But until then, I'd like to keep this one under wraps. But, yeah. Species. Well, I mean, come on, I'm an average Joe. Sure, I might look like I'm above a normal Joe. I might get pulled into maybe far too many timelines and odd jobs for a quote-unquote average Joe, but I'm still pretty normal. I die like anyone else. I don't know what force revived me if I did die somewhere, because I can't remember jack shit. Or maybe it's supposed to be that way. In that case, I must have time looped so many times I forgot about it. But anywho, my occupations are, well, mainly piloting. I pilot all sorts of things. Cars, forklifts, giant mechas, airplanes. You name it, I can probably figure out how to drive it. Hell, if you throw me a dragon, I could probably drive it. Don't actually do it, though. The last time I got thrown a dragon, I ended up in a bullshit rhythm minigame and got shot down by a raptor. So I don't think I want to repeat that one again. Nabs, hello! Glad you could make it. You should probably go get some rest. And there's Nabs, my L2d model mom. I'll use the term just this once. It's embarrassing and makes me want to face desk, but just this once. Because you've done a lot for me, and I'll get to it, but for now, let us proceed to the occupation still. Well, I pilot, I can virus bust. I've been involved in the cyber world a little too many times. This is embarrassing me, dear God. Anyway. So, other than Virus Buster, other than piloting, there's a lot of gunslinging. I don't know how I keep ending up here. And various other odd jobs. along with the gunslinging, I seem to be a decent sword fighter for whatever fucking reason. Again, I don't know what weird force keeps pulling me into these things. But, you know what? I guess this is gonna be a very bizarre life after all. Anyway, let us proceed to the next thing, I suppose. Sorry about the scuff. Now for my likes and dislikes. I love gaming, that's no fucking secret. Games are probably my favorite thing in the world at this point. Or at least a decent constant. I will engage in a little bit of philosophy, nothing too heated or too crazy. I'm not gonna lie down with you under the stars and discuss the meaning of life, if that's what you want. That's a little too crazy. Kaku is the guy with 12 side quests, and each side quest have different classes. I hate to say it, but Nabs is right. I am basically the guy that's all over the place. I'm that guy with like 12 alts. I actually did used to do that though. In Dungeon Fighter, I had roughly 10 alts of like several classes, and they were pretty good for the time. They're probably outdated today, but still. Nabs is actually correct. This kinda is already making me embarrassed as fuck. Anyway, so I like a bit of philosophy. I like my heroic bloodshed. Anyone who's seen my Max Payne streams, how many times I mention John Woo for gunfights. I love Hong Kong action films. Or just slow-mo gun battles. They're so good. This extends to John Wick, because John Wick is also in that kind of style. Another thing I like is noirs. Stuff like, well, okay, I don't think 7 counts as a noir, but Chinatown definitely does. And, well, I guess LA Noir might as well count, so there you go. It's only 2, but I like the style. The dark detective with a checkered past, going around and trying to solve mysteries and absolve himself of sin. I want to say that sounds like me, but that probably has a little too much ego, if I said that. The next best thing, coffee. I mean, this is no secret. I run on this stuff. Maybe a bit too much, because, frankly, I'm kind of immune to coffee. It has to be a stronger variant at this point. I'm kind of immune to instant. Like, I still get a kick out of espresso. Vietnamese coffee just does me in. But other than that, I love coffee. There's just something about it. The wake up, the bitter taste. Although I kind of put cream time to time. My favorite coffee, it's Vietnamese coffee. It's Vietnamese coffee. I love Vietnamese coffee. I can't think of any other to-go coffee I would like than that one. Cuban coffee. That's an interesting one. Maybe someday I'll get to try it. For now, though, no dice, unfortunately. But, well, maybe someday I'll expand my horizons. I've already gone beyond the horizon. If the Trails viewers catch my drift. Let's see. My favorite foods? Sandwiches. Just sandwiches. I don't care, for the most part, what kind of sandwich I get. If it's stuff between 2 slices of bread, I'll take it. The perfect hand food for my quintessential I need to eat fast to stream. No time for a sit-down meal here, no. Gotta have my hand food. eat it and get going. Because we're doing like 10 plus side quests, as Nab says. There ain't no time for a sit down. I don't have time to... Well, okay, we'll get to that next part in a bit, but... I think this also stretches to just hand foods in general. Like, fried chicken, some tendies, onion rings, french fries. If I can just eat it by hand, I will probably take it. But, that being said, I like my sit-down foods too. Ramen and pho are always a classic. Amongst other things. And it's like, well, it's no secret I like rice. I'd be insane to say I don't like rice. Let's see. I do like me a bit of odd trivia time to time. Just like weird random facts. It's kind of fun. Kaku might have a drawer or shelf loaded with sandwich ingredients. Okay, I'm not James Bond. I'm not that good. Shit would spoil in this room too. No, Nabs, I like rice. Oi. Also, no. I wouldn't have a sandwich drawer in my room. It'd fucking spoil. With the amount of heat this comp generates, it's over. Boy. But yeah, hand foods in general. I love hand foods. I like my sit-down meals, but definitely not for the days I'm streaming. The next one, I used to say I like complicated stories, but I think at this point, I'm just going for, if it makes me feel something, I suppose it's good enough. If not, I certainly hope the gameplay makes me feel something. Cause it's like, I will play drivel, well, I say drivel, but I will play shit like EDF 5 and 6, but I'll also play Trails to its full completion. So that's the dichotomy we're working with here. In regards to my, well, favorite kind of stories. The last one, cranking the difficulty to nonsensical highs, or just doing really dumb things that would... I don't know if this is, like, a great idea. Most streamers do not pick Nightmare on Trails. I think I can count on, like, one hand how many streamers have picked Nightmare for Trails, or something really stupid like Inferno Mode East 8 through 10? What can I say? I like the high of a challenge and beating a challenge. I can't settle for just the story. I want my adventure, and, well, I guess I get my adventure the only way I know how. A lot of suffering, but a lot of sweet elation at the end of it. Although I've started to kinda relax on this as time goes on. But if I can do it, I will absolutely pull the trigger. Because the world of VTubing, we're kinda homogenized at this point. Everyone has done something, somewhere, someplace. I'm just trying to make sure I don't feel too much the same to the next VTuber. Like, I want people to be able to go, you know what? For Trails Nightmare gameplay, watch Tenkaku. That sounds so egotastical. But that is ultimately my aim. To have something that separates me from the usual. Even if it does cause my audience a complete headache. Watching me try to formulate dumb strategies. Do I have VTuber Oshis? Oh, that's a good question, Nabs. It really depends. Cause, well, okay, I do have, like, one guaranteed favorite. Well, actually, no, that's a complete lie. I have 2 favorites, actually. Nabs, don't do it! Don't do it! I don't want your kids finding out that I'm actually a thing! I'm supposed to be hidden in the shadows, kind of, sort of. I'm failing at this very spectacularly, aren't I? Okay, but anyways. Anyways. Back to the question. Since we're still on likes. Well, in terms of, like, VTubers, I'm guaranteed to, like, stick around. Oshis that I really like. It's Pam and it's Amiya Aranya. Those 2. I think those 2 are like, even as I travel, go through a bunch of bizarre journeys, I still come back to those 2 for some reason. I sneak around, of course. I can't say what I've been up to. Although I kind of blew the lid with Ami, so, fuck. And I'm pretty sure Pam is never finding out that I'm actually a moving model now, so, well, then again, her watching this channel would be a complete nightmare at this point. It's like, oh dear. Oh no. Pam is nice, though. Ami is nice. Let's see. I mean, I guess as far as guys go. There's this one other VTuber, a guy VTuber that I watch on and off. Though they use a girl model. His name is Airy, and I tune in time to time with him. Of course, I'm always gonna watch one of my friend Tori's stream or Fox's stream. I guess Tori kinda... Well, Tori's more of a friend than an Oshi, so maybe that doesn't really count. Same with my relations with Airy, if anything, so... Yeah, I guess it really is just Pam and Amiya. Well, actually no. I guess we'll just boil it to 3. We'll boil it to 3. Pam, Amiya, Emery. Hiragi, Emery. That's about it. Those 3 are somewhat, well, they're my Oshis. Oh, hello, Kirim. What am I? Oh my god, Nabs, no, stop! Hello, Kirim. This is a proper introduction today to who I am, even though, well, you historians and Nab already know who I am at this point. And if Shadow and Gotcha were here, they know who I am too, so, yeah. We have sidetracked completely. But, well, then again, I sidetrack completely often, so maybe this is more in character than I thought it'd be. Now, where was I again? Oh yeah, my final like. I love a long-spanning series. I like Ys, I like Trails, Ace Combat, Armored Core, Souls. You know what's the main correlating thing? The main correlating thing in all 5? They are long runners. They're journeys, epics. That's what I like to see. I mean, I take my short stories too. But I love something that I can follow from start to finish. Just to see it evolve steadily. Which is, I guess that's why Trails is probably my favorite, followed by, you know, Souls. And that sort of thing. Now then, for my unfortunate dislikes. Shrimp. I can't eat it. It just gives me the mumps. I used to be able to eat shrimp. I don't know what the fuck happened, but, well, there we are. Eggs. Oh, this one's just tragic. You have to, like, pulverize the egg or mince it very small for me to eat it. I can't eat an omelet. I can't eat, like... Well, I think I can eat egg custard because it just gets mixed with, like, sugar and shit, but I basically can't just eat pure egg. That's really bad. Alcohol. I know people like getting drunk. I am a boring person who stays away from that stuff. I know. There's some pleasure in alcohol, and trust me, maybe in a different world, I actually like alcohol. The bizarre part is I like bartender and the art of bartending, but I don't actually like the drinking part. That's the weird part, really. The next part is... I think I tried to like voice acting. I tried to be as passionate about it as Pam, but I've come to realize I really hate voice acting alone. With people, it's kind of fun, but having to voice act every character in Trails, it's so tiring. I'll admit that's pretty lame coming from me, but again, it is why, like, I've kind of cut corners on longer dialogue games. Unless they're absolutely mute, then I suppose I'll do it. But, yeah. Otherwise, I would prefer actual voice actors, or people who act way better than I do. This will be kind of contradicted, a little bit. But, alright. The next point, I'm kind of conflicted on, too. I like singing terrible songs. I don't actually like the idea of having to sing for a career or trying to be good at it. Which also means, if I did want to sing, I'm self-conscious because I know way too many good singers. I'm fucking dog shit. And the harmonica might as well be a cope, but that's besides the point. That being said, I think at this point, my terrible holiday karaoke is kind of a tradition. A really terrible tradition, but I suppose it's a tradition nonetheless. So, here we are. The next one. I've come to realize I hate visual novels. Or, I'm kind of split on this one. There are good visual novels I like. I just don't like streaming visual novels. It's just me reading a story for like 2 hours. I want the action, the kinetic energy, the fight, driving things, piloting a mech, I don't know, deflecting swords. I need the kinetic energy. I need the challenge, the thrill. And for me, that just doesn't happen with reading visual novels. I know. This makes me sound like a unintelligent caveman who hates reading. I don't. I think when I play a game, I'd rather play a game and not read a book. So, I'm kinda split on visual novels. I like them, but I've come to realize I hate streaming them. So, yeah, that's a bummer, huh? Anywho, the next big one. I hate blackjack. Holy shit, I have PTSD playing blackjack. Like, I think I can blame Trails on this. Blackjack used to be my main method of winning casino chips in Trails. Except, the NPCs just kept beating me, so it's like, but what if I switch to poker? And it turns out, I love poker for some fucking reason. Like, I really got into poker. If the gun streams are any indication of that. But that's besides the point. And the last one, I put up with it, but I would rather not use tank controls. I suck at driving them. It's no secret. Dutch and company are still waiting for you to return to the camp to partake in an evening round of poker. I think my time in that era is over, unfortunately. I cannot return there unless I have a decent reason to. But, anyways. I think that's it for this section. There's all my likes and dislikes. It ain't much, it's not extravagant, but I suppose it is what it is. So let's move on to slide number 3. My interests! Oh boy, this one will not be that much of a surprise. My various hobbies are gaming, of course, harmonica play. I can now safely say this, now that I'm an actual VTuber, I might be the only harmonica-based VTuber to exist. It's kind of horrifying to think about, but I've written at least 80 tabs at this point? Or, no, actually no, I've written around at least 80 tabs, maybe 70. Because there are some tabs where I just, play something that someone else made. But a vast majority of the songs on this channel, I did it. Every single note. All the time and trials. Those were me. And I owe the harmonica play to Trails in the Sky, but we'll get there. I will say, as much as I hate voice acting, I love voice acting as the villain or just doing bad voice acting. Like, deliberately dog shit. I love that stuff. I don't think I could ever seriously voice act if I wanted to. I mean, I guess if I had to, sure, but it's not a thing I desire. As for my favorite music, it's all over the place. It's just all over the place, but it's mainly video game OSTs. Ace Combat and Trails being my favorites, but Armored Core's OST rocks too. The East OST is amazing. There's all sorts of game-based OSTs that I like. And I mean, there are some songs outside of gaming that I do like too. It's a bit rare, but if I find good VTuber music, I find good VTuber music. And then there's some, like, really odd choices, like, John LaJoy. John LaJoy is my favorite rapper, which sounds really odd to say, but, yeah, no. Pop song is amazing. So is Everyday Normal Guy. I can't believe I made a cover of that one. I kinda want to forget that I made a cover of that one. But, as for, things I sit down to watch, I like both Full Metal Alchemist, Bartender, Psycho-Pass. I loved reading Dr. Frost, and I think that's like the only webtoon I've ever read at this point that I really liked. I love Gungrave, Gridman, Dynazenon also, and Monster. Yeah, my anime pool is pretty damn small, I'll admit. I mean, I guess you could throw Freyrin Season 1 in there too. that was a fun watch. Code Geass, G Gundam. I don't really watch that much stuff. As I've said, I prefer to be kinetic, but when I do sit down to watch things... well... oh, well, I guess since we're talking about animation... Star Wars Clone Wars 2003. That's the shit. It's a damn shame not many people watch that one. But Star Wars 2003, that's some peak. That's some peak action right there. Well, I probably should have added the movies section to this, because I do have a bunch of favorite, like, you know, not animated movies as well. I mean, I mentioned 7, but there's also, like, Hong Kong action flicks, there's all the Raid movies, and The Night Comes For Us, for hand-to-hand fist fighting. Some anime movies yeah. I forgot to mention anime movies, but I really liked I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. That one was so good. I'm so glad Kuupi recommended that one, even though I think I legit actually almost cried when I watched I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. That one was just tragic. In, like, the best of ways. Holy shit, it was so good. I'll have to rewatch Your Name. I don't know if I like that one because of the fad, or I genuinely do like that one. I remember liking Magnetic Rose, but only that one out of the trilogy of movies. Because Stink Bomb and one of the other ones kind of sucked. Well, and I guess that'll be it for movies. I'll probably say more as I stream, but that's like the simple summary of all of my movies and likes and all that. Now for the games. Like I've mentioned, I am all over the place. And I mean all over the place. Look at this screen alone. What other VTuber is baffling enough to play the entirety of Trails, the entirety of Ace Combat, the entirety of fucking Armored Core, and Max Payne, and Silent Hill? That's enough of a confusion blender to baffle anyone. Not to mention all the Souls games, Mega Man, a couple of indie horrors in there. Yeah, I'm just all over the place. I can't help it. Oh, did we forget to mention Mafia, Call of Juarez, GTA? Out of a lot of VTubers, I might be the most insane in tastes, and bizarre competency in said tastes. I still think this is, like, probably nothing, though. It's like, all the other VTubers have their niche. I'm just all over the place. But I've already said it once, so I'll say it again. This channel is like a seafood boil. I just take a bunch of things I think seem good, dump it on the schedule, and, well, if it comes out great, or rather, if people like one thing, that's great. If people like multiple things I do, that's also great. But I am just kinda all over the place with the gaming tastes. I try to expand my horizons. No pun intended. And, well, that's kinda it for the interests. Now, what was slide 4? Ah! This is it! These are my wonderful artists and my model rigger. There's Kuupi. Don't worry, Nabs, I'll mention you soon, but let us set the stage. Kuupi is the originator of my design. We hashed it over one day after I just randomly kind of picked someone I thought was cool on Etsy. Yeah, little did I know, I picked a really good utaite? And it's like, wait, what? What do you mean I picked a DJ that also, was an artist? How did this happen? But Kuupi is amazing. I think she's been busy, so she probably doesn't have time for art these days because she's pursuing her musical interests. And you know what? If I funded those musical interests in some way, I'm happy for her. And if she sees this stream, I want her to know that much. I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's been a constant, you know, artist I can go to. And my first artist. I'll never forget her. And now for Nabs, who's here in the audience. She should really go rest in the hospital. It's like, Nabs, you told me you were in the hospital. Are you sure you have time to watch this? Where does Kuupi upload her music? Don't worry. I'll have a link in the description. Well, actually, no. That's a complete lie. I can get you the link right here. Okay, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I don't want to get in trouble for this. I'll just get a link to her channel. But, yeah. Both of my artists are great people. And I don't know what more I could say. As for my rigger, I really wish I had more contact with my rigger. Because I'm sure they're a fine person too. It's just... yeah, I'm more in contact with Nabs and Kuupi, because I guess I'm just closer to them compared to Zeno. But the work Zeno did on my model is great. Even if I disagree with how much my model smiles, it's a little self-conscious of a thing, because it's like, damn it, I smile too much. This sucks. I should be the grouchy guy, not the happy, smiling mess all over the place person. But anyways. Firefox is taking a bit to load. So hopefully this link works. But this is Kuupi's channel. If you want to hear some of her songs. And if she ever finds this... oh wait. Yeah. No, this should work, I think. If it doesn't work, well, sue me, I suppose. But Kuupi is a really good utaite. I'm actually kind of surprised, honestly. I never thought I'd be commissioning someone that's an utaite, but it's really neat nonetheless. So, yeah, go check her out. And as for Nabs, I'm grateful that she's my L2d model mom, constant source of, or rather, one of the people I go to first for really bizarre artwork requests. As for Zeno, maybe I'll commission something eventually. Just to say hi, maybe build a little rapport. Only if they're, like, you know, interested in rapport, because otherwise, well, I don't really have any complaints about how my model's rigged. It's great! I wish I used it sooner, but that being said, Zeno actually was a lifesaver, because I lost this model. Yes, I know, I'm a total idiot, but I lost my L2d model, like, from way back, so I had to ask Zeno about it again, and they still had it. I'm actually surprised they still had it, but I really gotta get back to them on this one, even though I'm not sure what I want Zeno to draw. I'll have to think about it. I can come up with a bizarre idea or two, but I guess we'll see. But there are my two artists and my model rigger. Great folks. I'm a real lucky guy to know them. And with the horror stories of like how people have run into issues with various artists and folks, I'm just glad I somehow got 3 home runs. I don't know what more I could say. So yeah, give Nab some love, give Kuupi some love, and give Zeno some love if you see him. I can't thank them enough. And I know it sounds like I'm rushing it, but I really am out of words to say. I'm just happy to know such good people, I suppose. That extends to the audience too. Like Kirim, Historian, Sprocket, you guys have always been here. Daemung might be busy, but I appreciate him nonetheless. Even if he does go a little horny, but not too horny, I suppose. Now then, on to my, well, this is my slide goals. But I do have actual other goals I want to achieve. So, one of my main goals, maybe someday, I'll probably have to fire the bullet first, but I would love to sit down and just chat with other VTubers that love trails. Except the thing is, I'm a small nothing of a person, and all of the people I'd like to chat with are like crazy huge. So, I don't know. That one might be out of reach for now, but someday. Second, learn one of the alternative harmonicas. I think I have a better shot at tremolo, but I would also like to learn chromatica someday, if I could. Third one's the big one. Third one's the big one. I think my schedule will honestly be less rigid in the future, due to a bunch of factors, getting in the way, or things that I want to do that where I have to make the schedule more flexible. Because right now, I stream pretty much 7 times a day. Nabs, no! Okay. I mean, if it's you, I'll collab, sure. That wouldn't be so bad. But, yeah. But yeah, I need to be more flexible with scheduling. I also need to probably turn down the difficulty every once in a while. I did that with Tales of Graces, but I probably could stand to do that a little more often. Wouldn't be so bad. I'm not sure about this next one, but sure, I guess it's a VTuber tradition. I mean, I'd like to be happier with karaoke. I currently feel like I'm gonna die of embarrassment doing so, but maybe someday we'll have Trails karaoke, where I'll sing all of the openings. That'd be a fun challenge. Or like half of the openings and half of the endings. And lastly, I want, well, VTubers are a finite lifespan. I'm not sure when it's time for me to go. But I'd like to stay. I'd like to stay on this channel, streaming, all the way until Trails finally ends. At that point, it's been a good epic. I think I can go retire the channel at that point. If I have nothing else at that point, I can safely retire the channel, knowing that I've lasted long enough to see my favorite series end. But until then, we're gonna still be around. Unless something freaky happens, then retirement might be a bit early. But even if retirement's early, well, I'm sure even if that happens, we'll probably end up seeing each other again somehow anyways, one way or the other. Word seems to spread around fast these days. Not that I want it to, but them the bricks. The secret is to not freak out about it, I think. But, yeah, that's just a lot of what ifs. For now, the guarantee is, as long as I'm still interested, and as long as Trails is still going, you're probably gonna see my ugly mug around this part of the this part of YouTube. Alright, so for my general streaming plans, gaming is a constant. I might have to do more harmonica sessions though. I really do like just sitting down and trying to make the song, note by note. Maybe I could do more chatting streams. They're really not my favorite thing to do, but I'll think about it. And the one guaranteed karaoke. Every holiday season, somewhere around December, it's time to sing very, very terribly. That's my guarantee. And thus, we're at the end. Don't worry, Nabs. I will play some harmonica streams. Some more. Eventually. But, for now. We're on the last slide, then it's model reveal. It'll be model reveal time. Here's my YouTube, but, well, those who are watching already know where my YouTube is at this point. My Twitter is, well, there's my Twitter, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't really chat on Twitter that much. I'd rather chat here, so... Twitter is just in case you need to see if I'm live or not. If you're not subscribed, whoever's watching, you should definitely subscribe. If possible, but if you don't want to, well, I can understand your reasons. Now, as for the schedule, this is the hard schedule so far. I'll stream 3 times in a day on Thursdays and Mondays and various holidays and days off, but otherwise it's mostly 1 time a week. I've been dabbling in the idea of streaming in the mornings, now that my schedules for Tuesdays and Wednesdays are a bit later, but I think I need my beauty sleep too, so that one's half and half. But yeah, 3 days a week. The Thursdays tend to be turn-based. Mondays are, well, a variety of things. I'm still on a Westerns binge, but we're down to 2 games now on Westerns. Since Yakuza's ending, well, actually, I should probably talk about that in my future plans, but anyways, that's enough of the slides. It's time for the model reveal. That's what we're here for, right? And well, I'm not one to disappoint. Here's the model. Well, as soon as I turn on the spout, capture. Da-da-da-da-da. Alright, let me just, I'm a little smaller than I'd like. Oh dear. Let me zoom in a bit more. Oh no, my head's gone. Oh dear. This is a disaster. Oh my. Technology is certainly a mess. But there we go. That's more like it. There it is! There's me in my entirety. I look like a Nico Bellic ripoff. But here we are. Let me just kind of shrink down a bit more so you can actually see my model. It's gonna be a bit of a mess, but bear with me here. Technology is not my thing. But yeah, there I am. There's the full extent of this model, for better or worse. Let's see. Let's zoom in some more. See some details. Here's my ugly mug, I suppose. I got the side... Well, yeah, I'm getting older. I think at this point, I'm starting to morph into Cassius, which is probably not good, but... I got that, you know, the small stubby beard, the small stubby mustache. I'm getting on in my years, man. And the next model update, I'll probably have more gray hairs at this point, but for now, a decent brown. Not too bad. Cozy jacket, cozy t-shirt. My Nico Bellic ass looking pants and shoes. Oh dear, I've disappeared off the screen. Don't worry about it. Blame it on copybot technology. It's going sideways. Don't worry, I'm still alive. Sort of. Gray hair cock. I don't think I want to be the Don, if that's what you're thinking. I'll pass on being the Don, thank you very much. Speaking of trails, I'm getting my friend into the series. Oh, nice! I hope they'll like it. In fact, I think I've found a new potential Trails enjoyer to follow around. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, there's me, wobbling around like a penguin. There's my hands. Well, at least they're not inflatables. But yeah, I'm a pretty average guy. An average sense of dress. I don't know what more I can say here. And, well, I guess one for the books. Here's my full look. Damn, I look kinda lanky, holy shit. Not like this! But don't worry, I've kept up a decent diet. I'm not that under the bridge just yet. But yeah, let's get back to the usual. But yeah, there we go. That's gonna be my model for the time being. Again, thanks Nabs, thanks Zero. No, not Zero. Thanks Zeno, and thank you Kuupi for making all of this possible. I'll always appreciate you guys, even if it comes time for me to disappear. I hope you all know that. This is about as sentimental as I get to be. It's back to business starting tomorrow, so I suppose we can have some fuzzy feelings for today. But yeah, this model smiles way too much. Damn it, am I actually this happy all along? I thought I was supposed to be Mr. Grouch like this. Yeah, I can't do it. Never mind. I can't freaking do it. Curses! I'm no better than any of the other happier VTubers. Grr! Well, in any cases though, I guess me closing my eyes a lot makes sense, kind of? Although this makes me look like a blind swordsman. But don't worry, I still actually look when I pilot. I'm just tired, but I think that's a feeling all of us share at the end of the day, to some degree. Damn, I wish I could wink on command with this thing more, though. I'll have to play around with the settings. But yeah. L2d for me, though, still has its limitations. Mainly the fact that, I can't play high-intensive games like Neo 3, but other than Neo 3, we'll be seeing this one around a lot more. And I know I might be smiling a lot, but some scenes do pain me. I'm not that unfeeling. As much as I thought I would be, anyways. Alright, I think that's pretty much the entire debut itinerary for me. So, I suppose that brings us to my upcoming plans, you know? Like, what do I plan to do next? Let's see. Now that we've beaten Armored Core 2nd generation, I'm kind of at an impasse. I could go to Armored Core 3, or we could play Metal Wolf Chaos, which is, imagine your local president piloting a mecha. Well, if your president was actually a likable person, I suppose. Because I'm sure, well, a lot of us have our gripes with various leaders, but if I say any more, it's gonna lead to a very sad rabbit hole, so let's not go there. But anyways, Metal Wolf Chaos is ridiculous. It's like America Teen Police, but Armored Core. Alright, I know, I shouldn't have brought it up. Terrible example. Sorry, Nabs. You'll have to forgive me for that one. Alright, so we're at an impasse for Armored Core. I'll decide on that one. The next Wednesday stream will be, drumroll please, Red Dead Revolver. Oh boy. Yep, it's gonna be Red Dead Revolver. I also have the next Tales game that I'll play. It'll be a weird one, because it's not the ones you're thinking of. Nope, it's Tales of Destiny Director's Cut. Yep, I am. Jumping far back into the time machine again. So yeah, Tales of Destiny Remake will be on the table. I don't know which day. I'll have to figure it out. With the aquatic adventure over in Another Crabs, this is a perfect excuse to play BioShock 1 and 2. So expect to see those two very soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to play BioShock Infinity, though. I don't think I want to go through that one again. And after Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition for PC, we're gonna go through Resident Evil, because I've entered a interesting bet. If I go through Resident Evil, my friend goes through Trails. That's the bet, although it's kind of more one-sided for me, since I'd like to say 95% of the time, I finish my games. I finish a series. But who knows, I don't want to make any promises. After Super Robot Wars 30, well, this is gonna come as a shocker, but we'll try a HoloLive game. HoloLive, or Super Holo Wars, which is basically Super Robot Wars, but with anime girls? Question mark? Yeah, that's the next one. But yeah, I think those are the upcoming plans. I'm gonna be taking a break for Saturday and Sunday of this week, but I'll be using that time to release 2 covers, so stay tuned. One of them is Battle Network, and one of them is predictably Trails. Yes, it's Trails. I'll release something not game-related soon, just give me some time. Making these tabs is a process of insanity, since I am not a musically talented person. I know some people might think I'm good at music, but I am most certainly not, friends. This is a necessity kind of thing, because I might actually be the only harmonica VTuber around, which is a terrifying thought. There's flute VTubers, there's violins and cellos, but I haven't found a harmonica enjoyer quite like yours truly. So, monkeys. I wish I had more to say. I think I've said all I wanted to say, though, to be honest. And I think it's been a cozy enough debut. I think this more than makes up for my debut like 4 years ago, where I was muted for 20 minutes. That was so dog shit. That debut was terrible. I think Sprocket might have... No, I don't think Sprocket saw it. This was before Sprocket, before Daemon, before a lot of y'all. It's like... And don't get me wrong, I'm super happy that I have regulars. People that, you know, I like seeing every time I stream. It's a nice feeling. It might be a bit parasocial and kind of weird, but there are a lot of you that I just like seeing around. And there's some people that sometimes visit, like Dweebs. If Dweebs ever sees this, I'd like her to know I appreciate all the raids. I think I'm undeserving of said raids, but I always appreciate them nonetheless. Maybe someday I'll have enough people to raid other channels, that'd be nice. I'd probably send you all to Pam or some other person, I don't know. I'll definitely beeline you all to like a Trails channel or something, most likely. But yeah. I will say though, thanks for entertaining the chat streams for 2 days, bro. I know this isn't my normal gameplay and talk kind of thing, even though I lock in far too often for my own good, but still. Still, it has been nice doing a proper debut, even if it is kinda short, cause I like to keep things brisk. I'm not that much of a heavy talker, if you will. If my life was, like, infinitely more interesting, I'd be yapping about travel stories and all the lovely people I know, but... Okay, no, that's a complete lie. I do have one interesting story for today, actually. Like I said, I tell 80% truths. Sometimes. The 20% I just kind of forget about things until it pops up. So, at my day thing, I was wearing a Mega Man Battle Network sweater. Someone actually recognized the series, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, this place has Mega Man fans. What the fuck? It's like, wait, what? No way. But, yeah. Of course, I think Mega Man is gonna be the most out there I get with my wardrobe. I do have a VTuber sweater, but I don't know about wearing that one in public. Oh man, I'm gonna be caught dead wearing these things in public. And shouting about my Oshis and... Oh, good lord. I mean, I'm already dying of embarrassment with how mushy this stream has been. But... Well, in any cases though, I guess that's my one story. Maybe I'll have more, maybe I won't. We'll have to see in the future. But that being said, it's been good talking with y'all. Even if this is a short debut kind of stream, I think it's a fine enough place to end, I believe. I should probably go lie down and rest myself, because I'm barely functioning on coffee at this point. It's like the head is telling me to lie down and sleep, but the body is telling me I gotta keep going. I gotta make this an actual debut. It was probably the most scuffed debut ever still. And I'll be honest, I might commission a loading screen for the future. I had this idea for a loading screen, and I think I want to go through with it. Where it's gonna be me playing the harmonica, but the background's gonna transition to like a background with a giant mech suit, a background covered in fog, a dusty desert Wild West setting. Since, well, it's to reflect that this channel loves jumping all over the place. And my interests are all over the place. And, well, I think the loading screen should definitely reflect my utter nonsense. So, well, there's that, and I might have to redesign the, my channel banner is due for a redesign. I need to just figure out a good design for it, but it'll happen eventually. It'll be a little less Cal Arts, if I had a word to put it. I just honestly scrounged this together in Illustrator one day, and I've been just using it ever since, but I think it's time for a redesign of sorts. But yeah, alas, it is about time for me to go. Thank you everyone for tuning into this one, and I'll see you guys in the morning, if I see some of you, for Mega Man Star Force 1. We're gonna move Star Force 1 up a schedule. I'll think about getting more art of me in some form, some fashion. I know you're busy, Nabs, and I probably need to commission one from Zeno as a thanks for, you know, all of this. So, I'm glad you could stick around. I'm glad my regulars could see this, and I'd like to say I've redeemed myself from, well, my, you know, my regulars and whoever is new around here. I'm glad you're all around, and I got to redeem myself to some kind of degree. I know this is a short stream. I don't like doing short streams, but it's finally time for me to rest. So, thanks for tuning in. And thanks for being around for the ushering of my new model. The old model's gonna be for the Neo streams though. And maybe someday when I figure it out, all of my various costumes will come over too. But until then, thank you all once again. Thanks to Nabs, thanks to Zeno, Kuupi, everyone here. I'm glad I've met you all. And, you know, people in the future too. But, anyways, I've said enough for today. See y'all around.